Ed and Lorraine Warren were a pair of prominent American paranormal investigators who are well known for investigating a variety of high-profile cases. A married couple, the two were among the first investigators of the Amityville haunting, and their notoriety increased as they worked on other notable cases. Throughout the course of their lives, the Warrens claimed to have investigated over 10,000 cases of supposed paranormal activity, and their work has inspired a number of horror movies, including those of the Conjuring universe. So today, here at Unexplained Mysteries, we'll be taking a look at these 3 infamous unexplained cases that the Warrens investigated throughout the course of their long career. The Smell family haunting. The Smell haunting was alleged to have taken place in the home of Jack and Janet Smell in the 1970s and 80s. After moving into their century-old home in West Pittston, Pennsylvania, the Smells claimed to have experienced strange activity in the house. They reported unpleasant odours, stains, loud unexplained noises, whispers, and violent acts, including the shaking of mattresses. The Smells believed that a demonic presence was responsible for the inexplicable goings-on, which included the family dog being hurled against a wall. There was even a claim that Jack had been physically assaulted by the alleged evil force, which the Smells claimed had violently thrown their daughter down a flight of stairs. The case garnered significant attention from the press, and in 1986, Ed and Lorraine Warren were called in to investigate. Immediately, the experienced paranormal investigators were struck by what they perceived to be an unmistakable demonic activity within the home. According to Ed, the evil force that could be felt was extremely powerful. The couple started praying and religious music was played in an attempt to convince the spirit to leave. However, their attempts were in vain, and they were met with renewed anger from the present, who began shaking mirrors and furniture in retaliation. Ed claimed to have seen a dark mass within the house, and was shocked to discover a message on a wet mirror instructing him, in no uncertain terms, to get out. After Ed demanded that the spirit reveal its true identity, it's reported that the room turned several degrees colder. The disturbing activity continued throughout a period of several months, during which time Ed claimed to have recorded sounds of the demon knocking on surfaces. Lorraine concluded that the house was occupied by 3 spirits, as well as the demon that was using the other spirits to wreak havoc on the family. Was there a reasonable explanation for the strange events that took place? Some have suggested that the Smells' claims may have been down to delusions or hallucinations experienced by the family, believing that the Smells should have undergone psychiatric examinations as part of the investigation. It's also been reported that Jack had previously suffered from water on the brain and had undergone surgery to remedy this condition after experiencing short-term memory loss due to a bout of meningitis in his younger years. This house was blessed by the Roman Catholic Church on several occasions. The priests involved in this claimed that they had experienced no harmful activity whilst on the property. Janet Smell later said that she believed that the spirit had succeeded in avoiding the religious exorcism by moving between the double-block home and by following members of the family to other locations. In 1986, a local priest spent 2 nights at the Smells' property, but reported that nothing unusual happened. In the same year, the Smells grew tired of the intense media scrutiny and released a book presenting their versions of events, entitled The Haunted, published by St. Martin's Press. Although a local pastor said the Smells felt that, after zealous praying, things had returned to normality, in 1987, Janet reported that the family was still experiencing knocking sounds and seeing shadows. The Smells eventually moved out of the property, and the subsequent owner, Deborah Owens, moved in 1988. She told reporters that she had never encountered anything supernatural whilst living there. The case remains unsolved, but has inspired several books and movies. Union Cemetery. Our second case takes us to the renowned Union Cemetery, located near Stepney Road in eastern Connecticut. The site of the cemetery dates back as far as the 1700s and has become known as one of the most haunted sites in the United States, and even nicknamed the most evil place in Connecticut. The Warrens visited the cemetery many times and recorded their experiences of Union Cemetery in their fifth book, Graveyard: True Hauntings from an Old New England Cemetery. In fact, Lorraine Warren lived just down the road from the Union Cemetery before her death in 2019. When asked about the cemetery, she replied, "I can tell you that I know for a fact that this place is haunted. It's one of the most haunted places around." What makes Union Cemetery one of the United States' most haunted cemeteries? The graveyard has become infamous for sightings of a white lady spirit, which go back to at least the 1940s. The female ghost is said to have flowing black hair and to be dressed in a long white gown or wedding dress. She walks the site of the cemetery at night, sometimes appearing on nearby roads. Ed Warren claims to have captured definitive evidence of the White Lady ghost on videotape. Chillingly, several drivers have reported seeing the apparition suddenly appear in the middle of the road, only to vanish on impact with their vehicle. The identity of the mysterious White Lady figure isn't known. The Warrens believed that she was a young woman who died in childbirth. However, there are many theories as to who she was in her time on Earth. One tale tells that she was a woman who was killed after slaying her husband. Another theory is that she's a young woman murdered at the turn of the 20th century, whose body was later disposed of in a nearby sinkhole. However, the most well-known theory is that the ghost is the spirit of a woman named Harriet B. Seeley. There is a grave for Harriet B. Seeley within the cemetery, which records that her death was followed by the untimely death of her son in 1853. Could the White Lady be the ghost of Harriet Seeley, searching for the soul of her child? The White Lady is by no means the only presence to have been sighted in this cemetery. Some have claimed to see soldiers on horseback, others have heard the unearthly giggling of children. There have also been reports of visitors witnessing glowing orbs, beams of light, and rolling mist. Another spirit that has been seen in the Union Cemetery has come to be known as by Red Eyes, taking the form of a disembodied pair of glowing red eyes, which hover before visitors several feet in the air, while simultaneously the sensation of hot breath is left on their necks. Others merely report sudden drops in temperature or experience a general unsettling aura around the cemetery. Lorraine Warren claimed that the footage of the White Lady was kept locked away due to its high value and importance as irrefutable evidence of the supernatural hauntings at Union Cemetery. Ed Warren died in 2006 and Lorraine in 2019. Fittingly, both were buried at the Stepney Cemetery, which is only a few miles from the legendary Union Cemetery where they conducted so many of their investigations. Annabelle. The final case that we will explore is the strange case of Annabelle, which has become legendary within popular culture due to the success of the Annabelle film series. Annabelle was a Raggedy Ann doll, alleged to have been given to a young nursing student named Donna by her mother in 1970. Soon after, strange events were said to have taken place that aroused suspicion that the doll had been possessed by an unknown entity. The doll was said to move independently around the apartment, sometimes levitating, and began leaving sinister notes scrawled in childlike handwriting. The medium explained that the doll was inhabited by the ghost of a dead girl named Annabelle Higgins. Donna and her roommate attempted to appease the spirit by compassionately accepting her presence within the doll. However, the unsettling events continued to escalate, culminating in the attempted strangulation of Donna's friend Lou, followed by the appearance of painful claw marks on his body. In addition, mysterious drops of red liquid that appeared to be blood were seen coming from the doll. It was evident that there were darker forces at play. The Warrens were contacted, and they confirmed that Annabelle was in fact a demon. an exorcism took place and the doll was removed from Donna's apartment. However, the exorcism failed to banish Annabelle. To their terror, the Warrens found that the brakes of their car suddenly faltered on the drive home. The evil was only temporarily halted when Ed doused the doll with holy water. The doll was enclosed within a secure cabinet at the Warrens' Occult Museum in the basement of the couple's home in Monroe, Connecticut. A large number of other supposedly haunted dolls, toys, and books made up the collection at the museum, which, only recently, was open to members of the public brave enough to visit. A sign below the doll's glass case reads, "Warning, positively do not open." It's rumoured that several visitors to the museum who had provoked the doll found that they were involved in car accidents or near collisions on the road shortly after leaving the museum. So what do you make of these alleged hauntings? Be sure to let us know your thoughts in the comment section below and help us by growing this community whilst working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.